Just a few days ago, Dan Bongino seemed to take a position where, oh wait, he had been in lockstep with Kash Patel and Pam Bondi about the whole Epstein thing for literally months now. But when the base started to revolt, he backed off. In fact, he literally left the city. He didn't want to do his job anymore. And he was apparently very mad about the way that Pam Bondi had dealt with that situation. And the entire situation was so chaotic that even people, I guess, in the White House needed to go to reporters to find out if he was going to be at work. So here's Kaitlan Collins talking about some of the text messages she got.
He is staying in the job for right now. He is still the deputy director of the FBI right now, and he hasn't resigned or been fired. But the relationship has deteriorated so much that there are officials inside the White House who have not spoken to Dan Bongino in days, even though, of course, the question of whether or not he was still going to be employed by the federal government was still a big one for officials over the weekend. And I was told the president was very angry with Dan Bongino and also the FBI director Kash Patel to a degree, which is why you saw Patel put out that statement over the weekend saying he had no plans to resign and was going to work for Trump as long as he would have him. And so, yes, Dan Bongino may stay in the job for right now. We have no indication that he's left, but there is a real question of the future of that relationship, especially given the ultimatum he made over the Attorney General Pam Bondi after she confronted him.
So there's a couple things there. So first of all, the fact that White House officials are texting a reporter at CNN, who they routinely attack as fake news, that should not even have a broadcast license, to find out if the deputy director of the FBI is coming to work that day, seems strange to me on a number of different levels. Is there nobody at the FBI they can call? Could they not talk to Kash Patel? Apparently, their offices are so close that Dan Bongino can hear when Kash Patel flushes the toilet. So why were they texting Kaitlan Collins? Was this just a pretext to text Kaitlan Collins? Because I feel like you didn't need to ask her about this. There's other ways. There's HR, there's a receptionist, there's the guard at the door. Somebody else must know if Dan Bongino is coming into work. But anyway, so Dan Bongino did his ultimatum. You fire Pam Bondi or I'm out. And Trump has not fired Pam Bondi. He stood by her. Dan Bongino apparently has not left. Trump was very mad at that ultimatum. And so I'm left wondering, was that whole thing, the leaving DC, the I'm gonna quit thing, was that just more posturing of, no, I'm gonna fall in line, but I need to show the base that I'm angry about this thing, that I have their back. And I still want the power, I still want the paycheck and everything, but I need to seem to be on the right side of this. Don't lump me in with Pam Bondi. I don't know. We're stuck with speculation at this point, Brian. But what do you make of the administration side of this?
This is all ludicrous. This is all this amazing sideshow that is. I mean, forget the fact that it takes away from the business of governing and doing anything that people expect federal governments to do for them. This is just a theater and chaos, and that anyone who runs some department in the federal government as important as the FBI or is the deputy who is back channeling to an anchor who is ridiculed daily in front of the world on CNN is just adding to this kind of the ridiculous theatrics of this administration that just it transmits to the world that there's nothing serious going on here. I mean, what possibly could be the consequence of any of the outcomes that we or Republicans or some of these MAGA folks they're seeking here? I mean, what smoking gun is going to be revealed in any of this? I mean, the person who ran the entire operation is sitting in federal prison, and it seems like no one wants to talk to her. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell knows everything about everything. She ran the operation. I mean, and she's just sitting in federal prison, offering testimony to anyone who'll accept it. So really the truth is kind of irrelevant here. It's just yet another predictable consequence of what happens when unserious people get the reins of government. And we are in the throes of this, and we are going to face many more of this kind of Epstein Gate kinds of moments in the next 3.5 years, unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel like this is the version you get with the FBI. You get, with the DHS, you get the response to the flooding, but you'll have versions of this in every department because the positions of power have been given to people who have no qualifications and an ideological bent that would seem to put them utterly at odds with the core focus of the positions that they're getting. There's no funding going. People are being cut. Those with actual expertise are being weeded out. Loyalty is being preferred in all cases over capability of doing the job. And there's basically nobody in government that thinks that government is a thing worth doing. There just isn't. I could do a whole rant about how, hey, should Dan Bongino still have the job if he just decides not to come in randomly? But then I think, let's say that he had gone to work. What would he have done? What? He's not qualified to be the deputy director of the FBI. 15 years ago, he was a Secret Service agent? He's been a podcaster ever since? What do you think? He's going through folders and he's like, yeah, I need to coordinate with all the field offices. He doesn't know anything about it. None of them do. Kash Patel's he's not qualified to be in his position either. And what do we think they'd be doing investigations anyway? The FBI is just it's an arm of the secret police in the same way that the DOJ is just Donald Trump's personal lawyers now. It doesn't even really matter that they're headed up by people who can't do the job, because even if they were headed by a person who could do the job, they wouldn't do the job, because the job isn't to do the job anymore. It's to do whatever Donald Trump says that you should do. And nobody wants to hear from Maxwell.
I know you need to go to another story, but I just think you just hit it on the nail on the head. This is the war of podcasters. This is just podcasters fighting with each other on the right, and Fox.
Yeah.
This is just as it's like, and I think you said early on that just being in the spotlight, being in the media elite, which is what basically composes the media elite on the right, are podcasters who used to work at Fox News and are anchors who used to work on Fox News in positions of government, and or podcasters who are working in like the FBI. These are just basically commentators all fighting with one another. And it's like a giant media space that is just basically at war with one another. It's just the most interesting theater.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I hate it. I hate it so much. And while we have to talk about the Trump side of it, that Trump fills up all these positions with podcasters and TV hosts. When I stop to really think about it, that bothers me 1% as much. The fact that very few Republicans seem to care. They don't seem to think, oh, wait, this reflects really poorly on our movement and on our party and on America, that you would do this, that you would waste all these opportunities, but very few people seem to care at all. And that's what truly depresses me. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?